We all love that idea of a fresh start, that feeling of a perfectly clean slate. But what if that amazing feeling is actually a trap? Let's unpack why our obsession with new beginnings might be the very thing holding us back. So, does this sound a little familiar? Yeah, you're not alone. It's that classic cycle, right? You get this huge burst of motivation, you make a brand new commitment, and then, well, life happens. That energy just fizzles out, and suddenly we're right back where we started, just waiting for the next perfect moment to try all over again. So, this brings us to what's known as the fresh start trap. That feeling of wiping the slate clean is incredibly tempting, and it really does feel like the perfect launchpad for change. But there's a deep psychological reason why this feeling can be so deceptive. And yep, there's a name for this. It's called the fresh start effect. Basically, psychologists use this term to describe our tendency to get all fired up about our goals right after some special date. It creates this powerful mental line in the sand, between the old you that you're leaving behind and the new you that you're hoping to become. And these moments are literally everywhere, aren't they? You've got the big one, of course, New Year's Day. But our brains will latch onto almost anything. The first of the month, starting a new job, a birthday, or even just that promise of a fresh week on a Monday morning. Every single one feels like a magical opportunity to get it right this time. But here's the critical question. If these moments are so motivating, why do our resolutions fail so often? Let's dive into the science behind that all-too-familiar motivation crash. Okay, this right here, this is the absolute heart of the problem. The motivation you feel on January 1st isn't really coming from you, from a deep personal commitment. It's coming from an external source, a date on the calendar. It's basically manufactured hype, not genuine, lasting, internal drive. And this chart just lays it all out crystal clear. On one side, you have these symbolic starts. They're fueled by hype, they feel temporary, and they're always waiting for permission from the calendar to begin. But then you look at the other side. Internal motivation. That stuff is sustainable, it's personal, and you know when its favorite time to start is? Right now. This quote absolutely hits the nail on the head. We get so wrapped up in the romance of a new beginning, in the idea of change, that we completely forget about the boring, unglamorous, day in, day out work that real change actually demands. So if goals tied to special dates are the problem, then what's the solution? Well, it's a huge shift in how we think. It's moving from goals to systems. This is where we stop relying on that fleeting motivation and start building something that's actually designed to last. And this is the big aha moment. Forget the finish line for a second. Forget the grand vision of losing 20 pounds or writing a book. Instead, I want you to focus entirely on the smallest, most immediate action you can possibly take. So, what exactly is a system? Well, a system isn't a goal, it's a process. It's something you do, not something you hope to one day achieve. It's a tiny, repeatable action that you have 100% control over. And when you do it consistently, progress just happens. It becomes inevitable. Okay, let's make this super practical. Building a system is actually really simple. First, you pick a habit that is so small it's almost laughable, like doing one push-up or writing one single sentence. Second, you anchor it or link it to something you already do every day, like right after you brush your teeth. And third, you just do it. Every single day, no matter what. This is about more than just changing your actions. It's about a fundamental shift in your entire mindset. It's about moving away from that passive language of someday and then, and embracing the active, powerful language of now and today. And this slide just shows the difference perfectly. The old way is always saying stuff like, I'll start on Monday, or I'll do it when I feel motivated. But the system way, it asks a much better question. What is the smallest possible step I can take right now? It understands that your process, not your mood, is what dictates your action. So, why does this work so well? Well, it all boils down to this one little number, 1%. This is the magic of compounding. If you can just get 1% better each day, those tiny, almost insignificant gains start to stack up. And before you know it, they've turned into massive, incredible change over time. It's not about being perfect. It's just about a tiny bit of progress repeated over and over. Okay, so as we bring this all together, the main message is actually pretty simple. The real secret to lasting change has absolutely nothing to do with what the calendar says. It has everything to do with what you decide to do today. So the crucial takeaway is this.
Real change is, well, it's kind of boring. It's not some big firework display on New Year's Eve. It's just small, consistent actions. It's built brick by boring brick through a daily process that you commit to. And that process is infinitely more powerful than waiting around for a burst of inspiration that you know is guaranteed to fade.
And that leaves us with one final and honestly the most important question of all. Forget next Monday, forget next month. What is one ridiculously small system you can commit to starting the moment this explainer ends? They say the best time to start was yesterday. Well, the second best time is right now.